Destructoid.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh my gosh.
Oh
Hello
no.
now.
Oh, you fat fingered something.
Okay, so now we are live with Spot Dive, a live Nintendo podcast. I'm Brett Medlock, host here at Destructoid, and with me today are the usual suspects minus one person, Greg Vargas. Rest in peace. Greg, we hope you're doing good. He had to leave last minute. But Mary Stowe, social media manager and host here at Destructoid. How you doing?
I'm good.
Awesome. And we also have John Frisha for the second time that I'm saying this. He is the managing editor over at The Escapist and an indie developer. How you doing, John?
I'm even better the second time.
Awesome. And then once again, the King Daddy Dilf, Brett Larson. How you doing, Brett?
I'm doing great, guys.
For the
Happy to
second
be
time.
here.
Today's
For
going
the
to be a
second
fun
time.
show. Sorry about the audio problem at the beginning. I said so much. First off, if you want to be a part of the show after this uploads, go leave a comment down in the comment section and we will bring it up on next week's episode if you have a comment or concern or something you want to rant about. I want to get people involved in the show, so be sure to leave a comment in the actual comment section. Not the live comments, but the actual comment section. Anyway,
and shout out to the people in the chat who let us know we were muted, because
yeah, thank God.
that could have been real bad.
Oh my God. We just
Good,
record the
good
whole
stuff,
show.
good stuff.
Thank you, Clifford. Thank you, Peter.
That was horrible. Just I don't even want to think about if we just recorded like 15 minutes of nothingness.
Man, that'd be awful.
But yeah, today's gonna be a fun show. We have a few topics. A lot of them are pretty big deal. First off, we can just jump right into it. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, since we don't have a name yet, we're just gonna call it that, has been delayed until spring next year. Probably launching with the next Switch console, right, guys?
What if that's the reason
I
it
don't
keeps
know.
getting delayed? Because they don't know what to call it. They're like, it's done, but we don't know what to
name it.
call the game. So
They
just
said it's
delay it.
spoilery. They're like,
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
true. They
they
did,
said
yeah.
they'll give too much away for the game. I'm
But
like,
that doesn't even
what?
make sense.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna
like-
tell us sooner or later.
You got to tell us at some point, so just
The
tell
day
us.
before.
Yeah,
They
nah,
don't
you'll
know.
find out on
They have no
launch
idea.
day. You'll see the
Find
box at the
out
store.
after you collect all the Koroks, all 900 of them once again.
It's gonna be the
You
Legend
finally
of
get the
Zelda.
title and you're like, oh my god, that's what this game was about for the past 100 hours.
Yeah.
It's gonna be called The Legend of
Good
Zelda.
stuff.
Link gets killed with a golf club. Anyway,
That got
Well,
dark.
there was like a rumor, it might have been just yesterday, that like some dude that I've never heard of but sounded like an okay guy, he had heard that he'd heard a claim that a floated title for this game at Nintendo was Breath of Duality. And
Ooh.
the idea
that.
is that it would
Terrible.
like there's like I guess like more than one character you can play as, and like this title would be somehow like alluding to that.
That sounds
do you
awful.
think the Link that we're seeing with longer hair is like adult, more older Link? And there'll be like two different time periods, and like maybe that's what, or maybe it's like a
could see
multiverse
that.
Link in
Yeah.
a parallel universe where like similar things are happening and somehow they connect. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's like time travel past like
I could see that too, yeah.
incarnation of the hero, that sort of thing. So
Like personally, I think it's just going to be like simply straight up slightly older Link, and that's it. And my only reason why I think that is because Nintendo and Miyamoto specifically care so little about stories that they're like, he's 2 years older. Next.
I mean, but we see some of it where he's not 2 years older, so I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
something has to be happening.
Possibly. Well,
and-
isn't there a theory that like that's like Ganon or something?
Oh yeah, like young Ganon. Because of the
Yeah.
hair. The hair looks similar in shape.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting route.
Be interesting,
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Maybe to establish that like Ganon used to be one of the legendary like reincarnated links,
Mhm.
So that'd be kind of cool if they can do it right, but Nintendo's not necessarily great at storytelling.
Right.
I do think Breath of the Wild isn't talked about its story elements enough, because I think it's really cool how all these heroes died, and then 100 years later you wake up and you're like, what the hell? Now what am I supposed to do? I think that's a really
Yeah.
cool concept, and
Hmm.
it would have been perfect to build on that with Age of Calamity, but they decided to save the heroes. What were they thinking?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
You know.
An alternate
Happy ending.
I thought that game was going to end with everyone dying, and it was going to make me so happy. But anyway,
Like happy but sad at the same time. I was like, wait. Like I was going into that game ready to be heartbroken. I was like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to watch all these
Mhm.
champions actually die. And I'm gonna cry at every single one.
it would have
And
been so
Brett
cool.
just spoiled the entire game for me. I have no reason to play it now. Don't worry.
So there's still the little egg guardian should be your main motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in myself for not having played that game yet. I have no reason not to have.
You literally
But,
bought.
I mean,
half of
I
it.
literally purchased half of it, and then I haven't played it, so I don't know.
We game
I will get
share,
around to
and
it.
Brett goes halvesies with me on like every first party game, and he plays like 10% of them.
Even
pretty
once that I
hilarious.
don't play, yeah. But I do with full intention on playing those games, and then like I don't know. There's no excuse. I'm just a piece of shit.
That's what I was gonna say.
All right.
But
You know what stinks about the delay is, of course we know deep down, and this is like the dilemma with gamers, is we know deep down that a delay only means something good. It only means that they're fine tuning something else, or something they thought wasn't coming out right and they want to fix, and it's got to mean something good. It almost always has to be. But the
With
game side
Nintendo.
of me is like,
if any of you
correct.
bring up the Miyamoto quote, I'm going to
No,
stab
I'm
you
not going
through the
to. I'm not
computer
going
screen.
to. But the gamer side of me is like, I was so looking forward to playing this game this year, and it's like, now this is not in 2022, and if God of War Ragnarok gets pushed out of 2022 as well, like that's like my two most anticipated games of the year, and that'll suck. I mean, God of War Ragnarok is another story, but you know what I mean? Like, it stinks. The gamer side of you, it stinks not being able to play this game, especially because, I mean, this was in a way almost rumored to be a game last year, and now I
mean,
almost for sure thought it was going to be 2022. So it's unfortunate, but
if the game does end up launching with some type of new Switch hardware, then I think we can assume that they probably did just delay it so that they could like showcase it with this brand new piece of tech, sort of how they did with the Switch version of Breath of the Wild, because a lot of people forget
Yeah.
that was a Wii U game, and
yeah.
like, no one thinks about that version because they decided
Right.
to basically delay the game until the Switch was ready to go, and then it ended up being a huge deal. So if they might try to repeat that with this new Zelda.
It was a console. It
What?
was a console seller.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
100%.
At the very beginning, I think Breath of the Wild had a higher attach rate than like the Switch itself. Like there were
Yeah.
more copies of Zelda bought than there were of Switches in
I
people's
was that
hands.
person.
Nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was.
Oh,
Greg
look
is
who
here.
decided to
Hey.
join.
Oh.
Hey,
Eric,
How
you might
doing,
gotta
man?
mix things up a little bit. And Eric fixed it like
There you go.
instantly. What a
Man.
freaking genius.
Yeah.
Shout out
He's
to
the
Eric
man.
on the ones and twos.
Yeah,
running the
Greg, we
show
were muted
from
for
his
like
computer.
2 or 3 minutes, and the people in chat were like, "Hey, we can't hear you." That-
Yeah.
It was almost a nightmare if we would have
Dude.
not been looking at the chat. Like,
so like I've been having, I don't know, like random pain. So I think we talked about it last week that I got my tooth pulled and shit, and
Yeah.
so I've been having like random pain in it, and then it was like I noticed my stitches were coming out, and they're supposed to dissolve, and so they've been like dangling, and then like another white piece like before we were supposed to go on fell out and like bled a little bit, and then it stopped.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
And I'm like,
man.
what is going on? So I just
you're
put
gonna
my
make us lose listeners and viewers just because of you describing this.
Yeah.
I can't handle this shit.
I
Anyway,
was about to do a hard segue. Speaking of stops,
blood was just like gushing out of my mouth, right?
And
A
then I
little bit
started
of
to
brain
eat it.
tissue somehow got in there.
Dang, man. Well, hopefully you're doing better.
Hopefully you're good to go. For those
Yeah.
just
So-
joining us, this is Greg Vargas, writer over at PC Invasion and streamer over at Dynamite Giraffe. How you doing, Greg?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good now. I'm doing
Yeah,
a lot better.
yeah. We have talked about we were currently talking about The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel being delayed. we sort of already delved into it quite a bit, but do you have any thoughts on it that you want to give before we move on to the next thing?
I don't think I've ever heard of that game.
Oh, okay. Then
Okay.
never
Yes,
mind.
not
Let
real-
me tell you
little
about
indie,
it.
little indie.
Yeah.
My immediate thought was, oh, Mary's gonna be disappointed. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, man, I feel bad.
Yeah,
I was
okay.
really disappointed.
But we got like 5 whole seconds of new footage to stare at, and there's a lot to process in those 5 seconds, and that's all it's been on my mind today.
Yeah, that sword looks awesome. Eric, can you show the Zelda new little clip that they did whenever they announced the delay? Because that clip is pretty cool. We get a close look at Link, like in his new longer hair form, and we get a badass looking sword that looks like is it the Master Sword? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
it's all like cracked and broken. His arm, it's
Pause
like
it right there.
yeah, like his arm is very different. The symbol on the back of his hand is something new. Like
He's got tattoos.
yeah, like
Okay, I'm just seeing this for the first time. I didn't see this earlier.
Yeah, it
yeah.
looks
Talk about
badass.
that
I was
weapon
so busy just
degradation.
writing up the news of the delay this morning that I completely missed this.
No, like
Yeah,
I-
dude,
it's
that's-
only 5 seconds, but it is like there's a lot.
The Zelda fan base is exploding. The Minecraft
Oh, yeah.
sword. It kind of
Yeah.
does.
Isn't it crazy what Nintendo can do? They can disappoint everyone by telling us it's delayed, but everyone still loses their minds over 5 seconds of him pulling out a fucking
Yep.
sword.
Yep. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, like it feels, like the time heist kind of deal. I like what you said before too, Brett, with the whole past and present. But I don't know. For me, it's like I know, like just given the track record of the Nintendo bigger first party titles, it's gonna be fine. It's probably
Oh yeah.
that's just going to mean more polish, and I'm not disappointed whatsoever. Honestly, it's like one of the few franchises that can be like, okay, we'll play it later. It's going to be fine. And judging by the first one, we know this one's going to carry a lot with it, a lot of lore, a lot of different things that we haven't seen. This is just 5 seconds, and look how much got people excited. So
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. With video games specifically, it doesn't really hurt me that much when things get delayed because I'm always just trying to catch up. I have like an unlimited amount of backlog games that I actually want to play.
Mhm.
So with games, it's not as bad. Whenever movies and shows get delayed, that's whenever it truly hurts me because like video games are endless, whereas TV shows and movies, there's only like a select few that I actually am interested in. But yeah, I think this is fine, and we're gonna be playing plenty of games in the meantime.
Yeah.
Next up, PlayStation has revealed the PlayStation Spartacus, now officially called, what was it, guys? I can't even remember.
It's still just PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
PlayStation Plus, okay. And then they added like extra
There's
and
3 tiers, yes.
yeah. So
There's
John, tell us all about it.
Sure, why not? So there's 3 tiers. There's Essential, which is just the existing PlayStation Plus service with a new name, but they had to distinguish it somehow from the other 2 tiers. And then the second tier gives you like 400 PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 games that you can
It's basically
download
PS
to your
Now,
console.
right?
Yeah, to an extent.
much.
I think they're also adding some new games.
Yeah.
And they already announced like several games that will be there. Like Death Stranding's going to be there. I think both of the Spider-Man games are going to be there. I think God of War is going to be there. Like a lot of the first-party games that you would expect that have been around a while are going to be there.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then finally, the premium is the highest tier, and that gives you like the big backlog of like 340 retro games. So that gives you PlayStation 1 games, PlayStation 2 games, and PSP games that you can download or stream. And you also have PlayStation 3 games, but you can only stream those.
That one hurt the most because I thought they were finally going to do it. I honestly thought they would at least give us like a selection of like 5 to 10 native PS3 games. But no, they broke my heart.
So
Yeah.
does this include backwards compatibility?
Like, can you put a disc in
Your
and play that?
imagination.
No. See, the main reason why
Son
I
of a
wanted to bring
bitch.
this up on a
Why are you poking
Nintendo
the
show,
bear, Greg?
a lot of people a lot of people might be curious why we would talk about this on a Nintendo show, and it's specifically because there's one thing I wanted to rant about, and it's the fact that
Oh no, here we go.
Nintendo and Sony are both they're paywalling their backwards compatibility behind subscriptions, which is the exact opposite of what Microsoft does. With Microsoft, I can put Prince of Persia disc in my Series X and it'll play that game, you know? With PlayStation, I have to subscribe to PlayStation Now to first off, you can't even play it natively, to stream a Prince of Persia game on PS3. That's annoying. Like if I have a PS3 disc of Infamous, I should just be able to put it in and at least stream the game on my PS5. Not I have to subscribe to this service to play a game I already own. And even digitally, I own the game digital and physically, and I still can't play the game on PS5. So I don't like where Sony's head's at with this, just like Nintendo. I should at least be able to buy games like A Link to the Past on Switch. I shouldn't have to subscribe to a service to play these games. Like, that's just silly to me. I'm glad that Xbox is actually providing options for people. You can have Game Pass and have a bunch of these old games on there, and there might be some that that aren't on there or that are, it doesn't matter, but you can choose to buy them and own them digitally for the most part. But yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it.
do you guys think this is like, not saying, do you think it's a cultural thing, like because they're both heavily influenced and headquartered in Japan?
I doubt it, specifically because Sony is becoming so westernized, and like Jim Ryan's like really running the show, and like, I mean, they infamously closed down the Sony Japan studio that had made so many beloved games like a year or two ago. Like, it feels like this is very much like an American operation now, or like European operation. So I can't see how that would be the case.
It does really seem like Sony has lost its Japanese roots in a lot of aspects.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it does feel that way. I was telling Brett before the show started, it feels like this is a step forward and a step backward at the same time. Like, we all knew that whatever this came out, it was never going to be day one exclusives, like day one. We knew that wasn't going to happen, but everyone had their fingers crossed that PS3 was going to be downloadable. And I think they got one thing that I'm interested in, and the PS1 and PS2 and PSP classic games downloadable is interesting, but I just don't see myself really playing those games all that much. I hate to say it, but I think me and John have talked about this before. Like, there's so many games I want to play. I just don't see myself going back and playing PS1 and PS2 games. But the thing they got right that I am interested in is the try before you buy trials. That I'd like to hear more about what that actually means. That could be kind of cool. Depending on which games it is it for every game? How much of it is it just like you get to play an hour of it? Is it like an actual demo? I do want to find out more about that. But they really blew it in the PS3 downloading and the PS Vita, and like I know that some PS Vita games are hard because of the hardware, like Tearaway.
John's like, I never heard of it.
Because some of what made Tearaway good were like the capabilities of you pushing the back of the
that's true.
So they would have to do some things to make that possible. But man, there's like Tearaway, like Uncharted.
Tearaway is on PS4 though, by the way.
Oh, is it the original one?
Yeah, it got ported to PS4 with different things that you do with the DualShock.
I thought there was a sequel to it. I didn't know that. But like Golden Abyss, man, I got my Vita stolen from me the last job I worked at, and I've never been motivated to buy another one. To me, it almost kind of seems pointless because there's only one or two games I would probably play anymore on it. But I really think that could have been cool if they had some Vita games you could download as well.
Golden Abyss should have been ported already, in my opinion. But yeah, what, John?
Yeah, that's a solid game. Fittingly, the thing I love about my Vita is that I can play all the old games on it. We've had this conversation before.
True.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
when they threatened to like take down all those old games, I went and stocked up my memory stick on my Vita with like as many retro RPGs and like Mega Man Legends as I could. Like,
I did
so
the
it's
same
all
thing.
there waiting for me on a rainy day.
So is this going to include the DLCs for those games that released previously?
I would presume so.
Like Spider-Man DLC and stuff?
Well, like if it's a PS3 game and it had like a shit ton of DLC that came out for it.
No.
Is the subscription going to include
they sell
or
it
just the base
separately.
game?
It goes
still have to-
into like PS3 mode, and then you can still go to the store and purchase the DLC on there.
Oh, so you have to switch to PS3 mode to get price gouged.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying? Oh,
yeah.
Oh, you're fucking with Brett again then. Is that what you're doing?
No, it was an
I
actual.
Where-
It was an actual question, but
Oh, okay.
But
It
yeah,
seemed like he was
sarcasm
just
follows.
trying to like mess with him again to get him pissed off about something. Like,
no,
that was a
I was
legitimate
following
question.
his joke that time.
gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, so the PS3 games, it basically just like boots up a PS3 that's in a it's like in a warehouse somewhere, and you're streaming like an actual PS3 to your PS5 in its original resolution and everything. So that's why they look terrible streaming.
So legitimate question here. Legitimate question, because I don't get it. Why can't you download PS3 games?
Dude, hackers have almost completely figured it out. Like, hackers can do it. A freaking $1 billion company can do it. They could do it. They just don't want to because
Like,
it
they're
takes
making
money and
PS1,
resources.
PS2, PSP, PS4, and PS5 downloadable. Why can't you download PS3 games? I'm like, this is an actual question. Why?
It's because of the hardware that the PS3 was built with. It makes it harder. But I mean,
It can't be that
Microsoft put in.
difficult. I mean,
Yeah, but
Emulation.
Microsoft put in the amount of like time and resources and money to get
right.
Xbox 360 games running on Xbox One. Sony could have done the same thing back then.
Exactly.
If not with PS4, then definitely with PS5. They could get PS3 games running on there. I
Right.
think pretty
Yeah,
easily.
I don't.
Like probably through an
pretty hard.
emulator, to be honest. I don't know.
I mean,
I want to play.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, John.
I was gonna say the PS3 infamously had the cell processor, and like
Right, that's true.
none of us are engineers. We don't know what that actually means. We just know that what
Right.
we've been told 100 times, which is that the cell was like really complicated to actually program for. And that was one of the reasons why 360 got so far ahead in the beginning, that developers actually understood how to use the 360. The PlayStation 3 was more powerful, but the architecture was so complicated and weird that developers like didn't spend the time to optimize to get the most out of it. So the 360 version ended up being better anyway. So now they're kind of running into this problem retroactively of like, yeah, we built this really weird thing and we don't feel like figuring out how to make that run nicely on our modern hardware. And that's not to say it's not possible. Like, Sony can definitely do it, like Brett said. It's just that like it might literally cost a few $1 million to figure it out, and Jim Ryan don't care, so that's it.
You don't care.
That's silly though. You're the
Yeah.
leading console sales right now. Like
Right.
you should
For years.
yeah, like listen to your audience.
Well, no,
You-
Switches technically.
These are people asking
Well-
to give you money. Like,
but in total
Yeah.
sales, aren't they still undefeated? As,
Maybe
what,
money
like
wise.
70
Yeah, no, I
revenue.
mean PlayStation 4, yeah. I mean, Switch hasn't
Right.
outsold that. Yeah.
But I think it is still on pace to.
yeah.
Yeah, for now, yeah. But it still has quite a ways to go.
I mean, I could see that too with the like how the Sega Saturn is notoriously hard to find emulators for because of its architecture. So I could and that's how long ago did that release? And you've
Yeah, right.
barely seen some good ports of games lately. So I mean, I guess I could see it.
Yeah.
I've wanted to play God of War Ascension for like a year and a half now, and I refuse to stream
Brett, you
it.
have a
Like,
PS3.
I
You literally
know, but
have
the
one.
Here's the problem. Though. I don't want to go set the damn thing up. Okay.
It's two wires. It's the
Okay,
same
Jim
wires
Ryan.
as the PS5.
It is
You
in a
literally
closet right now.
have to
in a
unplug your
box.
PS5 and plug in the power cord and the HDMI cord into the PS3.
I know it's easy, but my level of laziness, I think you're.
It's out of this world, obviously.
I can understand that though. I'm kind of the same way. Like, I'll be in the mood to play like an old game. It's like, but I don't want to unplug the one I was
Yeah.
just playing.
Yeah.
To move it.
You
Brand
guys,
new, nice shiny system. I don't want to go
I'm-
dust off the PS3. Come on.
I play my PS3 almost every week, probably. Some random game on PS3.
But it's
What was the
still
last
plugged in,
PS3
though,
game you
right?
played?
Somewhere.
Hamster ball.
Get out!
You knew the answer to that, Greg. Come on.
Oh,
Facebook's
okay.
messing up. Is that for people watching? We're talking to Eric. He's probably muted and nobody can
Yeah.
hear him.
In the sky.
The
But yeah, it seems like we
Vlogfather.
might be having some connection problems. Let me listen to the audio. Yeah, we're lagging a bit.
Okay.
We're muting for 5 seconds and then refreshing. Let's do it. And we are back. We had
Okay.
some technical difficulties. Hopefully everything's working. Hopefully not too much lag or weird audio issues. Sorry about that. These things happen. Anyway, where were we? Brett, plug in your damn PS3 and play God of War Ascension. Now let's move on to. There's one other topic, actually a few other topics. The Witcher 4 got announced, or a new Witcher saga. So they might not call it The Witcher 4.
Yeah, everyone's calling it
And
The Witcher 4. I highly doubt it's going to be
For
called The
SEO
Witcher 4.
purposes.
yeah,
I
Sure,
called
yeah,
it
that's
The Witcher
true.
4
That's true.
because that SEO liked that.
Yeah,
that's
for
true.
sure.
That's
Good
the
point.
only reason why any of us are calling it that.
I mean, everyone called
point.
God of War
Good
God
point.
of War 4 when it was technically like God of War 7 by then because there was all those
Okay.
spinoffs.
Curious to see if like sales go up for all the other previous titles, or if more bundles come out where people can get Witcher 2, Witcher 3.
The Witcher? Is there
Yeah.
anyone
yeah.
that doesn't already own The Witcher 3? Like,
Even I
how-
own it. I haven't
anyone
played it,
else
though.
buy? I guess
There you
Skyrim is like still selling, and like, I know people that have bought like 4 different versions of Skyrim. It's stupid.
Sure.
I remember
Yeah.
like the DLC launch for Wild Hunt, and like people were really like anticipating each one as it came out. I I
Yeah.
I remember vividly reporting on it, and like people were like, oh my god, the next one's coming out on this date. I think one got delayed, and but I feel like it's the same thing as like Skyrim. It just like keeps selling, and they just kept adding new content to it, and it still sold well.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's adding new content, I totally understand that. But like, if someone's just buying like a Game of the Year edition and there's nothing new to it, or there's no remaster or anything, literally, and they're just buying it just to buy it and support it, that's crazy to me.
Yeah,
When
true.
they pack in like a whack outfit, and then it's like justifiable.
Right. You get an outfit, you get to wear a hood, and so it's
Yeah.
worth spending another
Pay
$60.
$40 again. Yeah.
A lot of people have already forgotten how much CDPR was loved all the way up until Cyberpunk, because
Oh
they
yeah.
did like the Witcher 3 thing where they put like the thank you letter in every single physical case. And then
Yeah.
they did the expansions that were like greatly priced and were like really well received. And they were always communicating with their audience and all that stuff. Everything was going so great for them
Oh yeah.
up until the launch of Cyberpunk. Then
Well, even-
they
CDPR
lost
were
all the goodwill.
Yeah, they
What?
were like the darlings of, of the gaming industry
Yeah, they
until
really were.
Yeah, even
Yeah.
when it came to releasing on Switch, people were still excited about The Witcher coming to Switch.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
was
was amazing that they were able to do it.
exactly.
I almost feel that like that's why, even though they're nowhere close to the Witcher 4 coming out in any way, shape, or form, it almost seems like they just dropped that just to be like, okay, let's maybe
remember.
get some goodwill back,
Yeah.
and like hopefully people will kind of forget about what happened with the debacle of the launch of Cyberpunk, and like I said, try and get some goodwill back. And I at least I could be dead wrong, but it almost kind of feels like that.
It could be a
Yeah.
really good thing for
Yeah.
them. I mean, to be humbled by your own shortcomings. I think maybe it'll change the way that they roll out the PR for The Witcher 4. Maybe they're more cautious. Maybe they're really uh, watch what they say during presentations, how much they anticipate is available upon release, or maybe they really need to do a better job at curating their own content before it actually goes out into the wild. I don't know. I think, for me at least, like, I'm hopeful that it does change some of the way they communicate about their games.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. The cutscene that we're seeing right now, I remember a lot of people mistaked this for actual in-game footage, but this is like a full-blown
Yeah.
CG cutscene.
Mm.
I
And
was
then
just
in
gonna
the
say the
actual
same thing.
game, this event that happens looks nowhere near this good. Like not even close.
Really?
Nope.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the scene.
Yeah.
Oh, I
I don't
remember that
remember
dude,
this.
but
It was similar. It
yeah.
was slightly different though. But yeah, I just
Yeah.
remembered that. I feel like they did a lot of trickery
Oh,
with
now I know what's
mixing
going on.
together gameplay and the CG stuff, like in the trailers and stuff. Yeah, lots of trickery with not false advertising, but not really being fully clear on what's real and what's not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we really didn't see gameplay till that one E3 that Brett, you and I were in the room for, because we saw this 2 years in a row, right? At
Yeah,
E3.
CG trailers. Yeah,
Yeah, and then
Mhm.
finally they showed that last one before they revealed it to they had, like, during a presentation. That was like, it took a couple years to even just get to that point.
yeah. That
The,
game.
the scene where he finds the girl in the bathtub, right? And, like tries to
That was
revive
one
her,
of
and,
them.
like,
Yeah,
the
that was
walls.
part of it. Yeah.
That's the first actual gameplay footage we saw, right?
Yeah, that's the one. And
think
and
so.
he, like, goes into that, like, area where all the guys are, like, lifting weights, and, like, they
Yeah,
showed that you can,
that's
like,
true.
Yeah.
hack
Actually, Greg,
the
that
weight
I think
bench.
that
Mhm.
was behind closed doors, wasn't it? Or did they show that exact thing later on?
I think it was previewed to us, and then it was released.
Okay. But anyway, yeah, The Witcher 4 is coming. The Witcher 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. I'm currently playing through The Witcher 2 when I should be playing Horizon Forbidden West. But the story is still really good. John, you made me want to get back into it because you said that it was like the story was better than The Witcher 3, and I was already thinking that, and now it's still really good. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad
Um,
you're enjoying it.
yeah, and are you guys excited for The Witcher? Oh wait, I know John probably is. John, where's your hype level with this?
Well, I mean, it's so far away that I don't really have like a hype feeling yet. Because like
Yeah.
CDPR already basically said that from now on they're the Witcher and Cyberpunk company. So we kind of already knew their next game was The Witcher by
Yeah.
default.
Right.
So like it's kind of confirming the obvious. So like I'm cautiously optimistic because CDPR's major problem with Cyberpunk 2077 was that they'd never made a game like that before, and that's why it took
Mm.
them so many years to figure out how to basically just remake Deus Ex.
Yeah.
So,
Open world
uh,
Deus Ex.
yeah, that's all the game is. And again, I liked it a lot, but it is literally exactly open world Deus Ex, and that's the whole video game. But with The Witcher, that is a formula that they've proven they understand really well. So they should be able to do it again. It seems like they're gonna have to make more stuff up on their own this time, and
Yeah,
it seems
they're
like,
going away from the books, right? Like completely.
well, again, we don't know to what extent yet. I guess there's the what was the new talisman
It's a
thing?
what's it
Not a
called?
not a
A lynx.
dingo. Okay, yeah, a
Link
lynx,
in the
lynx.
wolf.
Yeah, like I guess there's no lynx club
Okay.
in the books. Apparently, that's what I read
Oh,
anyway.
I didn't know that.
So I guess they are going to be doing their own thing to an extent. Um, but I think in the Witcher trilogy of games, I think they sort of remixed things as they saw fit in the first place. I haven't read the book, so I'm not sure how far they went with it, but I've heard it's like quite a bit different. And I That's encouraging to me because that shows, at least in theory, that they should be able to craft something on their own and have it be like really fun and engaging. So
Hmm.
that's why I'm cautiously optimistic here. Like, if this was the first time that they were taking this property in like a different direction, then I'd be like, this could be cyberpunk all over again. Like, they're gonna take years to like get their footing on something that people didn't really want in the first place, you know? So cautiously
Yeah.
optimistic.
Yeah, they have said that they're partnering with Epic to put it on Unreal Engine 5, which is
Yeah.
pretty big deal. I'm
Yeah.
Yeah,
hoping
it's
that this
very
speeds up
surprising.
development overall.
Mm.
Things might be slow in the beginning, but like maybe after they get in the groove with a brand new engine, it can really start to pump out some content and get this game done faster than like 5-6 years. Um, but yeah, like
Yeah.
everything I've seen from Unreal Engine 5 has been really impressive, and I think
Awesome.
it's smart
Yeah.
to go this route. Cyberpunk 2077 was a really pretty game, but obviously the technical issues and all that jazz, they should have never had a Xbox One and PS4 version of the game. Um,
Yeah.
but now with Unreal Engine 5, hopefully they can just kind of restart their whole mindset of development, and with all the same talent, I think that could go a long way if they still have the same writers and the same designers and all that stuff. But I'm not sure
Yeah.
how the turnover is at CDPR. I assume it's kind of bad.
Mm,
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's
Maybe
true.
that's why they're changing engines, because nobody knows how to use their proprietary engine.
So many people are gone. They're like,
well, I've
Potentially.
heard like stories that like they're like it's a relatively poor region, and so if you work
Mhm.
in game development, you're
Oh
making the
yeah,
big bucks.
Yeah.
And so I would guess that, I mean, if you're in game development, you're probably sticking with it there.
that's a good
and
point. Yeah.
Although at the same
CD.
time though, if you're working for CDPR, you're probably making like way less than somebody makes at like EA, for example. So like
True.
as far as like in
Mhm.
the industry goes, you're actually like not making good money there.
Yeah, because
Probably.
I mean, there's
Probably.
other development teams around too, like Bloober Team is not too far from them, and
Mm,
a couple others.
I
yeah.
remember hearing that CDPR was actually like government funded because the government actually gets money from the purchases as well, and it like builds up their economy or something. I don't know, something like
Really?
that.
That
I
could
think
be. I
I
think
want to say
Germany has something like that.
Yeah.
there's a couple. I think Brazil has something like that. There was Papa Yo was like another one where it was developed in part with the government, and it was like this indie title, but it was full mostly funded by the government. So, and then like I think they get like a portion of the sales that go back, and it yeah.
Mm. What's funny is when I do my taxes on TurboTax, I'm in the state of Pennsylvania, and like it like tells me there's like a video game development like tax break that I've never
Oh shit!
explored
Really?
before. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I've never read too closely into it because like it sounds like too much effort, but like I really should one of these days since I'm making a video game.
Well, yeah. Now you get to check that box on TurboTax.
Yeah, right.
One thing
So
I
yeah.
hope that The Witcher 4 doesn't do, which I have a strong feeling that they will, is I think they might end up giving us like a character creator where you like create your own Witcher, and
Oh
that's
yeah.
why they're sort of
Mm.
separating it from the books and doing this new saga. I way prefer to like when they give us an actual character
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Geralt. Like I I like that so much better than like creating my own person.
Yeah.
I think
Like,
there are games that do it well, but it's still like the Mass Effect trilogy, for example. You can create your
Mhm.
own Shepard, but it's still Shepard, like the same
Right.
personality, same everything.
Yeah.
And so I'm just hoping that they don't go too far with the character creation, and then everyone's main character is like a different person, basically. I like whenever
Yeah.
like the story's following a group of like characters that are the same, you know?
Yeah, and plus, I mean, just think of it this way: like, who do you like better, Geralt or the protagonist from Cyberpunk, whose name I can't remember?
V.
There
The
you go.
letter V.
Steve. His name was Steve. Yeah, sounds right.
Who here prefers V to Geralt? Like,
Nobody.
Well, I kind of not to get too far back into it, but I kind of feel bad for CDPR a little bit because by all means, Cyberpunk was a good game.
Yeah.
It really was. Like, it was a
Yeah.
solid game. But if it wasn't for all the performance issues and I hate to use the word lies, but they kind of like flat out were just lied to people about certain things of what they should
Yeah.
expect. And those things aside, it was a fun game. Like, I really enjoyed it. So I am interested to see what can happen in the next Cyberpunk games, because the evolution from Witcher 1 to 3 was pretty immense. So can you imagine what can happen in a sequel in Cyberpunk, which is already decent? Like,
Yeah.
that they could do some pretty incredible things if they really, just work hard at that. So
Yeah, this time they could make Deus Ex 2.
yeah.
Exactly. Now, Mary, you never played the Witcher series. Are you thinking that you would play a brand new Witcher game and a brand new saga?
I'm very much a person that likes to try to play like games in order, but
Mhm.
I think I'm gonna skip 1 and 2. I'll just dive right into 3, and like this new announcement definitely kind of adds like a little bit of extra motivation. So it's like, okay, like maybe I'll bump it up a few like on my backlog. I still have time obviously before the fourth
Yeah.
one
You
comes
probably got
out.
like
Yeah.
You could
five years.
probably
Yeah.
play the second one too by then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, maybe this is finally time. Like it's been in my Steam library for years. I bought it during like a summer sale, like complete all 3 games, and
Same.
they've just been chilling there unplayed.
At
So
peace.
Yeah, but so the last thing, I guess, if does anyone have any more words on The Witcher 4? Any thoughts on before we jump on to the last topic and get into Kirby and what we're playing?
Last thing.
Let's do it.
Okay, this one
Wait,
shouldn't be too long.
I had one thing.
What?
I had a question.
Oh, what?
Do
sorry.
you guys feel like at this point it's more important for whatever The Witcher 4 is to have? Is it more important to have parts of the show, those elements incorporated, or the book?
I was gonna mention Henry Cavill. I was like, I wonder if they'll get him involved in some
I don't
way.
think they're gonna connect him.
I don't think Geralt.
I mean,
I don't
he
think Geralt
might
will
play
play
like a
at all,
side
right?
character or something. I wouldn't doubt that because he loves the
Yeah.
Could be,
games.
Yeah,
Um,
that's possible.
so that'd be
I
really
mean,
cool, actually.
Well, like
I
the
was almost
TV show
expecting
is
a game
trying
with
to do
no
that, but-
Geralt.
Yeah,
Well, you guys
no,
talked at
yeah,
the same time.
yeah. I agree with Brett.
Yeah, I was just saying in case no one heard me. I was almost expecting a game with no Geralt, no Ciri, like just a whole not new universe, but like just a
Whole new
clean
region or
slate
something.
Oh, like Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think one of the like devs liked somebody's tweet about this being like a prequel or something. So this might be a prequel game.
We get to see
Yeah,
baby
that's-
Geralt.
Yeah.
Coming out of his mama's womb.
But he's already holding a knife and he stabs the bad guy.
He
Nice.
kills his
stabbed
mother
way
upon
out.
birth.
His first bounty, mother.
I cut my own C-section.
But yeah, I'm excited for it. But we'll see you in 2026 whenever it's done, or
Right.
probably
Yeah.
further
Or
than that.
27.
Yeah, 27, 28. We'll probably get more details. I would think in 2 years they're gonna start talking about it, and then they're gonna talk about it a little bit, give us a release date, delay it 2 years, and then we'll finally get the game.
Yeah. It'll be like what they're doing with Dragon Age 4. When was
Ba-
Dragon Age 4
exactly
announced?
that.
Like
2017.
17. Sounds
Yeah.
right.
that was my
Shit.
Was it 2017 or
guess.
2018? It was at the Game
Oh.
Awards. I remember
It
it
was
vivid-
announced. Okay, it was December
Do
2018.
you remember? Do you remember they
2018, okay.
announced it without even saying it was Dragon Age at the end?
Yeah.
I
Like,
knew what it
what?
was though.
Yeah,
I
knew
did
what
too,
it was.
but I
yeah.
still thought it was weird.
The Dread Wolf. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Dread Wolf. I was like, is that a new IP from BioWare
Yeah.
or what?
And then of course the reality was that BioWare had no idea what it was doing, and that's why we saw nothing.
Yeah, and I still think it's weird that like it's showing the signs of being based around the DLC from Dragon Age Inquisition, like the character. What's his name? I forgot his name. The
I always skip
Trespasser
the
DLC.
DLC.
Well, yeah. Apparently
Solus? Wait.
yeah, that sounds right. That
I
that
romanced him. I
DLC
should know
is
his
going to
name.
play a
Damn, it's like that.
it's gonna play a big part in this new game somehow. And it's like, man, that's kind of strange.
Romanced and ghosted.
Romance and Ghost.
I even have that art in my living room, like the big Dreadwolf thing, and oh my gosh, it's soulless.
Yeah, I don't like that BioWare does this, like when they reveal their game, they show us like these like dev diary stuff. I love dev diary stuff, but it shouldn't be like your reveal thing. You should give us like more of an idea, and then on like a smaller scale, like a YouTube video, do like the dev diary stuff, but not during like
narcissistic, if you ask me.
What?
I said that's a little narcissistic, if you ask me.
Maybe a little.
Like just like that stuff you talk. Yeah, you're right. That's like a YouTube series that you may watch later.
It's not an E3 thing. Like just give us a little tease, or don't show us anything at all. But don't like I don't want to see behind the scenes stuff unless you've given us something that's like more exciting. But when you only have behind the scenes stuff, it's just not as cool to me. But don't get me wrong, I love the dev diary stuff. But
Ubisoft did that recently. I think during E3 actually as well for like 2 games, and I'm like, okay, this is great and all, but like just show us the game and then like let's do the dev diary stuff for not like an E3 showcase, you know?
Nobody likes to see how the sausage is made, and they're leading with, here, let me show you how the sausage is made. Now eat it. It's like, no, I just show me the sizzle.
No, but they're not even showing you the sausage. They're showing you like grease. Like
not showing the sausage.
This is all the delicious stuff that goes into this sausage, but you're never gonna see it.
It's like with the Dead Space remake. They've been doing a bunch of these like videos in series with like the just like updating us on all the lighting and stuff that they're using. And I'm like, this is cool, but like the main thing I cared about was the 2 seconds of footage that was the actual game, and not all this behind the scenes stuff.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, lastly on the list, what we're playing. But before we get into other games, we have to talk about Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I love this game. John reviewed it over at The Escapist. Brett just beat it last night. Greg played some of it. Mary hasn't. What do you guys think?
Great rundown.
Not yet.
What do you guys think? And someone throw something out there.
The game.
I was just gonna say, like, what we're playing in Kirby might as well just be the same topic for half of us.
Really.
Yeah, that's why they're together on the list.
John reviewed it. Why don't you start, John?
Okay, yeah, like I mean, like as I said last week, like all along, I've thought this game looks great. I just didn't really plan to play it because Yakuza and stuff. But since I had the opportunity to review it and I didn't have to pay for it, then I was like, hell yeah, let's play. And it's like whatever my expectations were, like they were exceeded. Like this game is really, really good. Like I wouldn't necessarily say it's as good as like Breath of the Wild or Super Mario Odyssey, but I think it's done the same thing for its franchise. Like Breath of the Wild, major evolution. Super Mario Odyssey, awesome evolution. Kirby and the Forgotten Land, major evolution for the Kirby franchise.
Totally.
Like it's full 3D and it's so much fun. It is ridiculous. Like it's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. The level design, the worlds, everything is so charming and so smart. Like I did not expect this from a Kirby game. I always thought it looked really good, but not like game of the year material good. And I think that's what it is for me. I'm only in world 5 basically. I have one more level of world 4, so I'm nearing the end because there's 6 worlds and then a final boss apparently.
And
it's
some post game stuff.
It's so fun, like. And like the upgrade system's amazing. The art style, all the different like types of environments, like the neon room section with the light bulb. I loved that.
I just played that last night. That was
so fun.
That was so sick.
Mouthful mode in general is so imaginative. Like they literally just took junk and were like, I can make a fun gameplay mechanic out of this.
I kind of don't even want to like talk about some of it because I feel like it's spoilers because like the first time you see like there's an item you can use in mouthful, you're like, okay, how the hell would this be fun to use? And all of a sudden you're like, whoa, that is so good. You know what I mean? Like there'll be like a metal circle, and you're like, what could you even do out of that? And then you use it, and you're like, oh my god, that's so great.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And like Brett was saying, like the upgrades to your outfits or abilities, whatever you'd call that. I couldn't believe how much fun that was to keep upgrading things. Like I was fully expecting to have like one or two outfits that I liked, and then like everything else I would ignore. But like it was so much fun along the way to like find out what level 2 upgrade was, and then what level 3 upgrade was.
Yeah.
And oh my god, I couldn't believe that I walked away from this game with this much good to say about it. Like I was we talked on the show before about like my level of excitement, and I was definitely anticipating this and like looking forward to it. Part of the reason was because I felt like I haven't had a Nintendo game in a few months that I was really looking forward to. I don't really play the Pokemon games, and I was just really looking forward to this game because it looked good. But in no way was I expecting it to be this good and like this captivating. I started it like the night it came out, and there wasn't one night that I went without playing some of it. Like I played it every night, and when I wasn't playing it and I was working, I thought about wanting to play it. Like, you know, a game is good when you're not playing it, but you're thinking about playing it. Like, and that's what it was for me. It's so good.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah.
and I love how like every time you power up one of your abilities, like it becomes kind of like a new thing. Like
Yes.
your
Yep.
appearance like totally changes. You get like sometimes there's like new effects as part of the powers.
Yep.
Like the ability that you get that's kind of like a porcupine body sort of thing.
Like the needle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the first upgrade because it's so stupid on purpose. Like it just gives you like a pile of random sharp things, and there's
Yeah.
no theme except that they're sharp. So you have like a
Yep.
needle, you have like a bee stinger for some reason, like random spike. Like all of them are different, and it looks so dumb, and it makes no sense, and it's perfect.
And I love it too
Mhm.
because you stop rolling with it and junk falls off of you. And it's
Yes,
like
Yep.
why would you include that?
yeah. And
Guys,
when that's the thing, it becomes a mechanic too then, because the
Yeah.
junk can hurt enemies.
Yep.
It's
Oh,
brilliant.
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't do that upgrade, unfortunately, but we have to
Bum.
talk
I didn't do
about the
that one
fact
either.
that all of us had sunk hours into this game without knowing that there was a dodge
Oh
and
my
a kick
God.
attack.
Or
That
a
was
dive
the
kick.
funniest
You're
thing to
welcome.
read.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Greg.
Yes.
I was literally on.
I'm the one who
I was
told
literally
you.
on. I was
Oh,
on
I
the
thought Greg.
level. I was on the level before the final boss. And we have obviously a Facebook chat we all talk in, and you guys mentioned that there's a dodge, and I was like, "What? There's a dodge? I have one more level to go before the final boss," and I had no idea that was in the game. So
Yes.
if you guys are gonna play it, make sure you find that out because it can be useful.
Yes.
Yes,
I-
it's a good
I
thing
had-
I waited.
There you
Yeah.
go. I had literally already beaten the game, but I was playing a couple levels co-op with my brother to get a feel for it before I wrote my review. And he just messed with the controller, and he's like, "Oh, so there's a dodge." And I was like, "There's a dodge?" I'd
Yeah,
already
I
played
finally-
for like at least 16 hours at that point.
Yeah,
there's-
I'm halfway through the game, and now I still forget that it exists. But every once in a while I'll remember, and then it's like someone will attack me. I'll actually use it. It's a little slow, like for my
Yeah.
liking, but it was actually useful. And I was like, hell yeah, I actually did a dodge, and it was cool. Because
Yeah,
I had been
there's-
complaining to Brett for like weeks.
Yep.
I've been like, I was like, I just wish there was a dodge in the game, or like for a few days, not weeks. But
Mm.
yeah, I don't know.
So there's
some
one
boss
boss
fights
in
where it literally
particular.
slows
Yes.
down.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
go ahead.
No, I was going to say there's one boss in particular where he does like a rush thing, and then he rushes back and he rushes a third time. And I kept getting hit by one of the rushes every time. Now, if I'd have been able to use that dodge, like I would have totally made that so much easier.
Does the
Yeah.
game ever
yeah.
tell you, like,
I don't
ever?
know.
not no.
I don't know how that many of us wouldn't know.
Well, I think that's the same thing for the because I was looking at the control scheme to see what the emotes were called. Like when you push the D-pad up, Kirby does like a
Oh yeah, and there's
yay.
emotes too. I didn't know that either.
Yeah, and you push it to the right and he
Yeah,
looks
I did know.
around, and then you push down and he plops down and sits. So I was like, oh, I was gonna post a little clip of it to my TikTok, and I was like, what are these called? So I looked up the controls, and they don't say anything about it. And I was like, I don't remember this even being talked about, but I do appreciate, that they, these little like just tiny additions that really make the game feel full, like fleshed out, complete.
Yeah.
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 The,
So,
the game actually did tell me about the emotes
Oh,
at Waddle D Town. Well, the thing is, it's easy to miss. I was like just walking past some NPCs, I think, and it's like an idle like message on the side. The little blue fairy dude like told me like
mm.
press up or left on the thing to like wave to
Is it
the Waddle
Elfina?
Dees, if
I've
that's its name.
I've barely spent any time in the town because I've always been so anxious to get back to the levels. So there's like whole sections I haven't even walked to yet.
I
You didn't
went back
try any of the
in.
mini games?
No.
It's worth it
Ah.
there's an item shop you'll get at some point. That's worth it because you can actually double your health if you buy one of the health potions.
Oh.
And if there's like a
Yeah.
hard boss, you can get 2 health bars before you
Yeah.
fight the hard boss.
Okay.
So
Max
I
and
will do
tomato.
that sometimes. That's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
I unlocked
Is everyone? What? I'm sorry, Greg. What?
Oh no, I was gonna say like I had spent so much time outside of Waddle Dee Town doing the challenges
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm.
playing the levels and stuff that when I went back in there was like 7 things that opened up,
Yeah.
just inside. But
Yeah.
the one thing I did notice too is like I feel like there's a lot of bleed over. There must have been somewhere at Nintendo bleed over between whatever team worked on Super Mario Galaxy or Super Mario Odyssey and this game because I feel like a lot of the musical cues, the diversity and like characters and like even just like objects and weird things that they added had almost the same flavor in a lot of places and even to the point that I looked at like that the 3D design, the way the camera pans was done
Mhm.
intentionally so that you can discover new areas. And I don't know, I just think it all just melts together very nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Things
and
never
since
feel
you
repetitive either.
right.
No. It's always felt fresh and exciting.
Yeah. And since Greg brought it up, I just wanted to mention like the soundtrack is fantastic.
Oh, awesome.
Like
Yeah.
that's
Love
just
it.
like another part of this game that's amazing. The music is so good.
What'd you give it over at the Escapist? Like your score?
I gave it a 9.
Wow. Okay, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
Probably
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
I would
I'd
give
say
too.
it's a solid 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
I have to say that I missed out on Elden Ring, so I feel like this is my
Yeah,
Elden
none
Ring.
of us played it.
Like, 'cause
Yeah.
for obvious reasons for myself, I can't play that game. So this is like my game that I just want to talk about, like everyone else is talking about Elden Ring.
Yeah. This game's totally legit.
Mary,
Like-
you need to play this game.
I'm going to. I didn't have time this
Put down
weekend.
Tunic.
To get there.
What?
Yes, I got Tunic, I got Horizon, and then like I rearranged everything, so that kept
Oh,
me
yeah.
busy.
Mine took a lot of time.
Tunic is my
I'll do
next
that.
game. Tunic I'm playing next.
I was gonna
Yeah,
ask you
I'll
though,
play
since
that.
we're all playing Kirby, what have you been up to? What are you playing?
Tunic, Horizon, and then Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn consumed like my evening last night. Like I have finished part 1. I was actually streaming it. I normally don't stream that late, but whenever I saw that it was like end game of part 1, I was like, it's only 10 p.m. I can do this. And
Yeah.
I was up for a while. But
1 a.m. rolls around.
yeah. And
It's
then
almost
Breath of the
over.
Wild news happens at 7 o'clock this morning, so I get woken up early. And I was like, I didn't go to bed till almost 2 o'clock, and now I gotta roll out of bed, get to my laptop. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
I knew something big happened this morning because I was trying to get like 10 minutes more sleep, and I kept hearing ding, 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 and I woke up and it was the PlayStation Spartacus. Brett was telling me like line by line what it is.
At the very end, it said it sucks.
Yeah.
I hate it.
But okay, so with Fire Emblem, are you like liking the story, the characters, the gameplay? Like, what's your favorite thing about Radiant Dawn?
So I do like I really like the Fire Emblem series like as a whole. I like the characters, like the story. It's funny because like took a break from Fire Emblem until Three Houses. Like I played Awakening, I liked it, but like that style like strategy game didn't quite click, I guess, at the time. So I was like, I'm gonna try a game with Three Houses. It clicked, and I was like, all right, Path of Radiance, Radiant Dawn. I'm gonna go like play the old ones now. But like I'm obsessed with it. Like, and I have friends who like played it, and they're just like sitting there like waiting for like a big moment to happen because they know it's coming. And then all of a sudden, like I'll get in Discord, I'll be like, guys, like the Black Knight just reappeared in Radiant Dawn, and like he was dead in Path of Radiance. Spoiler alert if you haven't, you know.
Whoa. Spoilers.
Spoiler alert
planning
for
on
a
playing
GameCube
that.
and a Wii game
I
that
was planning on playing that later
been
tonight.
out.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, it's really challenging too because there's no casual mode.
Yeah, no, that came later.
And yeah, and Radiant Dawn treats it like, you know, oh, you've totally played Fire Emblem before, like no hand holding, it just dives into it. And those first few chapters, I was like, what am I doing? And then I find out about that normal is technically hard mode. And now I won't lower the difficulty because I'm stubborn.
So it lets you lower it mid-game.
I think so. My friends keep telling me they're like, just go switch to easy. I'm like, no, I'm committed.
Are you playing
There's
on like an
nothing worse
emulator?
than a game. There's nothing worse than a game that won't let you lower difficulty mid game and like you get stuck.
Brett stuck in Arkham Origins.
Arkham Origins.
Yeah, I'm playing it on Wii. I have the game like on original hardware, so I'm playing it that way.
How's it look on a new TV? Does it look pretty blurry?
It's a little blurry, but it's not too bad.
Nice.
Cool.
Well, that's awesome. Horizon Forbidden West, no new update for me. Haven't gotten to play it all week, but I will beat it one day. One day I will. But I'm not going to abandon it like John.
To the backlog it goes.
John abandoned it. I'm gonna say I haven't abandoned it, but
I
never
still can't believe he abandoned that. I'm so disappointed in you, man.
Like, I haven't
literally pre-ordered it. You pre-ordered the game.
GameStop suckered me into getting the collector's edition too.
I was gonna say,
oh my god,
the deluxe, and
really committed.
Yeah, like
Man.
I didn't uninstall it. Like I think maybe I will try it again in like I don't know, a few months maybe when things have really died down maybe. Like, but just it's
like
not on
part
the
of it
agenda right
is-
now.
I feel like part of it for Brett too is you're playing like little chunks here, and then like a week goes by, I play a chunk there. To me, it feels like a game you got to just kind of knock out. Like, and you can play games while you're playing it, but like waiting weeks between your next play, to me, almost kind of ruins the experience of that game. That's how I personally feel. But I almost feel like that kind of made it where you're like, I'm just not feeling it, you know. But
yeah,
well, there's three things for why I stopped. Kirby came out. John mentioned The Witcher 2, and I wanted to play that.
Crossfire X.
And Crossfire X. So there's four. And the fourth reason is that it's not nearly as good as the first game.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. The mystery's just not there now.
There's no mystery. Like that was a huge part of it. The characters are a mystery. The new ones introduced. I won't spoil anything, but
yeah.
So that still interests me, and the game still might get really good for me. I don't know. I'm still apparently not even halfway done with it, says Brett. So it could still like totally reverse, and I can end up loving it. Just right now, I don't think it's as good as the first game.
One of my coworkers, I was like, yeah, you know, because I told him, you know, that we do a podcast every week, and I was like, yeah, the two of the guys on the podcast just kind of slowed down to stop playing. And I was like, my friend Brett, of all people, I was like, I'd surprised he stopped. He said, you know, he just was kind of growing tired of it. And my coworker's like, he like was like fine until I said that. And he's like, what? Is he crazy?
That's the way I feel, man.
What do you want me to say? Let me get him. You go talk to him.
There's just something about it that's not doing it. It's just not doing it. Like I don't know how else to put it.
Maybe it's not Horizon, it's you.
Maybe I thought maybe it was the open world fatigue, but here I am playing GTA 5, and The Witcher 2 is not really open world, but it sort of is. So I don't think open world fatigue is why I'm not liking it. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's just not.
I've got a theory, but that's for another day.
Oh, let's
The
hear it.
theory is that he thinks I have a bias now towards Sony
He hates
because I hate their
anything
business moves.
PlayStation. If Horizon Forbidden
I
West
have
was on
80
Nintendo or
platinum
Xbox,
trophies.
I almost brought
He
that
would've-
up, but I feel like Brett's probably right in this case.
he would have beat that game a month
telling me.
ago.
I'm wearing a
Why do you point
PlayStation
at your
shirt.
nipples? Who cares about your nipples?
I just have to say, if Forbidden West was on Xbox or Nintendo, he would have beat that shit a month and a half ago.
No, maybe
That's
I
all I'm
would
gonna
have
say.
because Xbox has instant cloud saves, so I can play it in any room without going through the hassle of moving my PS5 into my kid's room because I can't play it on the PS4 because they don't
He's-
accept each
he's
other's
got
saves.
a
It's so
legit-
freaking stupid.
So
He's
you're
got a legit
saying-
excuse for that. I'm not going to give him crap for that.
So,
That
you're
is-
saying that unplugging and replugging in a console is
Over and over.
is a hassle.
Over and over, yes, it is. Only because listen, I move the Series S
Got
every
him.
day, but the PS5 is freaking
The stand.
ginormous and ugly, and it doesn't even fit on the shelf in front of the TV. So I
Wow,
have
these
to
all
have to
sound
lay
like
the
Brett.
stand down.
These all sound like Brett problems, man.
I'm gonna take a picture of the PS5 sitting on that shelf. You're gonna be like, that's dangerous, man. Don't set it up there. But I have to because there's nowhere else to play.
I do agree with that. Like trying to move the PS5 and like line up the stand and
They
everything.
have to have a
all the time
freaking
is kind of
stand
annoying.
on the console. Like what is
It
this?
is annoying,
2006?
Wow.
Yeah.
First world problems, man.
A stand.
You
It's
disgust
different
me.
than the Wii because the Wii could work just fine without the stand. You didn't even need it. It almost looked better without it. The PS5 cannot sit without the stand. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I
would
hate
say
Sony.
the Wii only
I'm
looked the Wii only looked good with the stand.
No, I liked it better without it, to be
No,
honest.
it looked dumb. It
Sideways
just looked like
without
yeah,
it?
it was like
Mine right now?
"Oh, I'm too tired to get up. I'm gonna lay on my side.
No. Sideways without a stand, I thought looked cool.
Yeah,
I
mine's
wonder
not
if
in
they're
the
gonna
stand right
if they're
now.
gonna. I wonder if they're gonna do a redesign for the PS5 because enough people have given him a hard time about like the look of it.
It's horrible.
That I mean, at some point they're probably gonna do a slim. I mean, they kind of always do, right?
Yeah.
But like, I wonder if like how much of a difference it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't
they'll
know.
make it
Because
smaller.
It's
Yeah, that's
because it's definitely the most unique console. I
In
think
terms
I've
of
ever
its
seen.
design, yeah.
In terms of
That's
its
a
just
nice word
weird
for it.
design, yeah.
If they do come out with like a PS5 Pro or anything anytime soon, I'm gonna end up buying it, and then I'll be able to keep one of them in the room that I always game in, and then one in the living room. So then I can transfer the saves. The problem is right now is PS4 and PS5 don't like interact with each other in terms of the saves. So yeah, that's the
Oh,
problem. So once I have two
interesting.
PS5s, it'll make sense.
seem to be, there's a
Sony-
lot of
Sony hates
cons
us.
in your pros and cons here.
Dude. Ever since the Series X came out and just became the most convenient console with its little brother, the Series S, like PlayStation has been just letting me
Why
down.
can't it be its little sister, Brett? What?
I mean, he's obviously
have
a
to be a
And
brother?
why are your nipples so small?
what?
Explain what?
He's
They
like, are
look
they
like-
showing?
They look like grains of rice.
Grains of rice. Yeah.
Oh man.
So what
Um,
else are we playing?
Anyway, yes. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, the PS5 being horrible.
I think
No,
it'll- I
I'm just
think
making
it'll- I
people
think
mad
it'll-
now.
It'll eventually get smaller. I think they'll.
My
I-
nipples?
No. Is that possible?
Oh.
You just be nippleless at that point.
Yeah.
No, I think they'll.
I mean,
they'll-
I actually, I mean, I
I
might
don't
be
know
in the
where this is
minority.
going.
I might be in the minority. I like the look. of
Brett,
it. It's
no,
just so
you
unique,
don't.
But
Just
Brett-
like you love The Last of Us 2. No, there's no way.
Brett thinks I just like it because I'm a fanboy, but I actually like it. I think it's unique and cool looking. But
Look at it,
I think
sideways.
I'm kind of in the minority.
I don't mind it. Like I think it
I
feels
wish
like
I
a
could
space
stand-
age device, you know.
Yeah, that's my thing. It's very unique. I just wish I could stand mine up, and there's no way with my setup I can stand it up.
I think
that
it
would
would look
be
a lot better if it didn't have like the Batman cowl stuff at the top.
Mm.
I wish it was just
If
completely
it didn't look
rounded.
like a modem.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Wasn't that part
if
of the
it was
cooling?
rounded and black, like fully black, I think it would look 100 times better.
Yeah.
Well, they've got
What-
the
what-
cases you can buy now.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, but they're still they look even more like Batman. I haven't seen any that are like round, like the same shape as the console.
I see what you mean. Like gotcha. I see what you mean.
That
Were the fins like? I thought they were part of like the cooling for the console or
I
something
think
like
so.
that.
Something like that.
I don't know. I feel like it's
I
going to
love
get
my-
smaller SSD wise. It's going to have better cooling capabilities, and I think that especially with new stock of like raw materials coming in. Like Asus just announced that they're going to reduce their price of their GPUs by like 20% or something like that, which you can't even buy the majority of them at retail right now. So I feel like we're at a turning point where more hardware availability is going to be able to move along these like development hardware development to make systems smaller. That's just my guess.
Yeah, no, that sounds right.
Yeah.
History agrees with you.
Mm-hmm. The PS5 Pro and the Xbox Series Z are gonna be out in like a few years, probably.
Hot.
They're just
The
going to be
Series-
dongles,
Series
just little
Triple X.
dongles you plug in.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the Series Triple X. It's only for adults, kids.
It
You
can
can
be
buy
used
it,
for
but-
more than gaming.
You can buy it, but you have to pay in singles.
That's a good one.
Uh,
But yeah, I don't know what we're talking about anymore, to be honest.
The back
We're
to your
talking-
nipples.
just
So I had a
back to
point
my
to make.
nipples. They're not
we're
really
on
that.
topic. I do have to say before we finish, just because it's something that's kind of cool, and this is a gaming podcast, Nintendo podcast, but we talk about all things that are like big news. My son's birthday is tomorrow, and we've been between like getting him a basketball hoop or a VR because he really wants VR, and I've never owned VR before. And our setup out back is just a little too hard to have a basketball hoop back there. So I think we're gonna get him the Oculus Quest 2 tonight. So
Nice.
that'll be kind of
nice.
fun. I've
Nice.
never owned
And-
VR before. So
Well, dude, you can
Play-
download a basketball
Resident
game and
Evil
then
4.
2 birds with one
There-
stone.
Yeah.
there you go. He's still exercising because you're still doing the motion. Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how sweaty you get playing like Beat Saber and like moving around.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, have
for
your son
sure.
play Resident Evil 4 in VR.
Yeah.
Or 7.
Well, the one I can't wait. If it's tell me if you guys know, is the Saints and Sinners on Oculus
Quest
Quest?
2, I think it is.
I'm pretty sure.
It should
I mean,
be,
it's
right?
definitely on PC, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. The only thing that's disappointing is I want to play Half-Life Alyx, and
That's not going to run on
unfortunately,
Quest 2.
Yeah. Which that's kind of unfortunate, but
I think it's
Yeah,
on the
that's the
Oculus
game I really want to play still.
Saints and Sinners is it's on Oculus Quest.
okay,
I-
cool.
I
'Cause
know if it's
he's
on
a
the
big
Quest 2,
Walking
though.
Dead fan too, so that'll be fun.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't remember what else. Hang on. I think we actually have one more topic that we didn't talk about. 1 second. 1
I had him
second.
pulled up.
I'm in the wrong chat.
We
guess
started out
not.
by just talking about what we were
Oh, I'm in
playing.
the wrong chat too.
Yeah.
I think that was it. Just Kirby and what we were playing was the final ones.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so I guess this has been Spot Dodge. I feel like we're forgetting something though. Like, did something happen that we're forgetting? Does anyone like
Oh
know?
wait, BioShock.
BioShock. That was the one. So
Uh,
BioShock Infinite got a random update, and a lot of people are speculating that it might be the studio like patching in some type of secret, and that's like some type of secret hinting at BioShock 4.
Did I read
So I-
somewhere? Did I read that correctly? They said they've been doing like random updates for like the past 9 years or something.
I don't know, maybe.
this is the first time even hearing about the update.
I thought we already knew they were making another BioShock game, didn't we?
Yeah, we do.
There's a new studio
just-
making it.
A lot of people are thinking that they might have hid like an Easter egg in Infinite that's related to BioShock
in
4.
Infinite.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Huh. That is interesting. I didn't.
If I was a studio, I would do stuff like that. I think that'd be really cool to do. Like patch
Yeah,
like a
no, that would be.
9-year-old game to have like a
Mm.
secret in it. That'd be awesome.
No, that'd
Yeah.
be cool.
Well,
So
I
yeah, I
think
just wanted to-
Everyone thought that in the GTA trilogy there was like a house that they thought was going to be in GTA 6 or something. There was a painting.
Oh yeah.
that had something.
Yeah.
I can't remember what.
They
I don't know if
added
that
in.
was speculation or if it had any truth behind it, but stuff like that's kind of fun to speculate about.
Yeah.
Like it
Um,
was either a report or just a rumor, but I think it had a lot of credibility to it. Somebody said that like
Yeah.
allegedly BioShock 4 will be set in like Antarctica
Yep.
in like what
Weird.
was it,
That's
like an
pretty much
alternate
confirmed.
1950s or something like that, or I forget now.
Yeah, it's like I think it's 1960s or I think it's 60s.
Okay. Well, I mean,
but-
regardless, if it's Antarctica, it doesn't really matter what decade it is.
Right.
Exactly. Snow. You'll be
The
seeing lots of
penguins are
snow.
there either way. You know?
But to be honest,
that sounds cool.
like I feel like that would be a great place to take the series next. They did Under the Sea, they did Up in the Sky. Now to like go out and like the snow
the ice.
environments, I feel like they could do something really cool, especially if they do some type of like underground city or something in Antarctica, like something crazy like that.
Yeah.
I'm really excited
I-
for that game. It's being developed by a brand new studio.
Mm.
Not what's their names? They used to be
Oh,
called Irrational, but now they're called Ghost Story, right? With
Yeah.
Ken
Well,
Levine.
It's not that they
Ken
changed the
Levine.
name; it's that Levine like shut down the whole studio and kept like a
And, like,
handful of
kept a few
people.
Yeah. So,
Like,
so
really
they're making a
heartbreaking
BioShock-like game over with Ken Levine and his small team. But then there's also BioShock
That's
4.
true. Yeah, that's right.
Cloud Chamber is their name. A brand new 2K studio.
The BioShock 4 people, yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
the Levine
I
people
just
have been
played,
working for like 7 years or something.
Yeah. Since
Yeah.
Infinite, which was 9 years ago. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Damn.
yeah,
and
I just
apparently
played
both
BioShock.
games are. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I was just gonna say I just played BioShock 1, 2, and Infinite all in the last like year or so. So
Same.
I definitely am excited about this.
I replayed BioShock 1 and 2, and I haven't played them since they came out, and they were like masterpieces. I think they're amazing.
So good. Like they held up incredibly well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Need
And
to
Brett, you
play
still
them.
need to play the DLC for BioShock 2. It's also really good.
Yeah. The Minerva's Den.
Yeah. Nice memory. But yeah, I'm super excited for this game. Out in the snow, uncovering some type of weird ass mystery, I'm sure, something crazy.
Yeah, that
And that's pretty much it for BioShock 4. They patched something in. No one knows what it is. It's probably nothing, but I think it's going to be kind of funny when this BioShock game and Ken Levine's game both just so happen to come out around the same time. I just have a feeling that's going to happen. Because apparently Ken Levine's game is very BioShock-like, which, as you could probably expect it to be.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But it's gonna be like when the Dead Space remake and what's the other game that is the Dead Space original creator?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Something
The
project.
Callisto Protocol. That's
Callisto
Yeah.
Protocol.
Rolls
And
off
like
the
the
tongue.
Dead Space remake and Callisto Protocol are going to come out at the same time as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that game's somehow set in like the PUBG universe.
Yes.
Yeah,
What
that's
the hell?
It's such a strange.
I don't know
thing,
what they're
but,
doing.
Yeah.
Is
I
PUBG
don't know.
Whatever they
super
want,
popular?
apparently.
yeah.
I mean, PUBG was super popular like what 5 years ago now.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it was
I
really
wonder
big
how
over,
big it is.
Still
overseas.
has-
Like, there's still quite a few people that
Yeah,
play.
I was going to say, I think
I'm sure.
outside the United States, a lot of people still play it.
But now not Minecraft. Now Fortnite has a no building mode. So now that all them people are gonna hop on over to Fortnite, right?
We can
Oh,
only hope.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't
Its
know.
its
I don't know
numbers
anything
have,
about these
like,
games.
Yeah.
skyrocketed since they did that, actually. So I wonder if that has any staying power, if it's just like everyone wants to try it out and then they're going to jump back out. We'll
Wouldn't that
see.
be funny if like Fortnite, like the most thriving mode was the one without building, which is what the whole game
Right.
was about.
Which
Like
is
the
what
name
made it
Fort
what
is
it
in the
was.
name.
Yeah.
The name Fort is in the name, so that, like, it was all about building, and
Right.
now no one liked it all this time.
Yeah, but all they have to
But at
do
the
is like
same
wait like
time-
4 years, and then they'll be like, "We'll
Yeah.
bring it building back."
Bring it back.
Oh yeah, this is one thing I wanted to say a little bit ago when Brett said Sony was bringing on the try before you buy. They did it on PS3. Like they got rid of it on PS4. Now they're bringing it back, acting like it's this new and
Yeah.
exciting thing. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think that's kind of funny.
Rolling out that thing that Nintendo does on a regular basis now.
Yeah.
That's what makes me wonder, though. Is it like just demos, or is it like a true you can play almost any game before
I
you?
think you're
before you
getting the
buy it?
access to the
good
full
question.
game, but it's going to be like time limited.
Yeah.
But even then, I think they use the language like select games, something like that.
Right.
Meaning
That's
like
that's what
it's
I'm
not
curious
going to be
about.
all of them. It's going to be like whatever they feel like giving
Okay.
to you.
Sure.
Try
Yeah.
out Madden.
Yeah, right.
2K25.
I was telling Brett this the other day. Whenever cloud tech gets there sooner or later, I think it'd be really cool if you're on like PSN or the Xbox store and you see a game and you're like, you know what, I want to try this out. So you click this little icon and it immediately boots you into like a really awesome moment of the game. And hopefully streaming tech is where it'll look great and like you can immediately play it that second. And you can be like, wow, okay, this is awesome. I want to buy this. Then you can just
You're-
buy it right there.
You're describing what Stadia was supposed to be.
Exactly.
but ultimately was not.
But
Not at
ultimately
all.
died.
Very, very much not.
This is the boss I needed that dodge when I didn't have it. Boss we're
Oh.
watching in Kirby right now.
On this boss, I used the time
Oh, yeah,
crunch. Did you get the time crunch or crush or I
No,
forget
I
what it-
didn't.
It's like
Yeah,
so
see,
did you-
someone's even using dodge.
Hey,
That's
plebe.
funny. in the game, the one ability is basically where you just nuke everything on screen and all the regular enemies
yeah,
die
yeah,
right
yeah, yeah.
away. You
Oh,
can
that's cool.
Yeah,
upgrade
I
that
remember
power
using
so
that.
that it's not an explosion anymore. It freezes time, but you're
Oh,
like
shit.
encircled in
damn it.
energy while time is
Ooh.
frozen, and you do enormous damage while time is frozen.
Dude,
There's so
So
many
I-
elements of this game that I'm never gonna see.
that's
So I
awesome.
tried to
That's really
to
cool.
cheat the game and go back and beat the wild tree with that to do no
Oh, yeah?
damage on it.
Yeah.
Didn't work. It only cut
Ah,
like in
that's
half.
bad.
Yeah.
I used the time crush on her, and yeah, like the health where it is right now on screen, that's basically what I got it down to with that ability, like all
Which
at
is
once.
one. Wow,
Yeah.
Decimated her.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh man, I love that game.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
great.
it's so good.
But
Also,
this has been...
Everybody go
oh,
play
what?
that
Never
game.
mind.
I was just
Go
gonna
play
say, concluding thought, if you want to like remove any challenges left, just pick the laser gun, the ranger ability. It's like so much easier to just shoot them from really far away, the bosses.
I didn't even think about that.
And then you hold it down and it like shoots these big giant stars after it. It's
Yeah,
cool.
the powered up version is so strong.
My
so
least
just
favorite
do
power
that.
up, I think.
Dude, I
You
used
see
it
at
for
least-
all the
I liked
endgame
it.
bosses. Like I
Really?
had no shame about it. I was like, screw you, I shoot you from a mile away.
I use the bomb one a lot, where the third upgrade is
Oh,
like it
interesting.
turned into like a remote bomb, so it would just like
Yeah.
shoot it and it would just go find him, and yeah, it was cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've been using the upgraded flame one, and now I can fly. I'm like a dragon.
Yeah,
This
that's
game's freaking
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
So good, yeah.
But yeah, this has been Spot Dodge, a live Nintendo podcast. Sorry about the technical difficulties earlier in the episode. Hopefully the audio version is cleaned up and there's no big gaps or anything. But Brett Larson, if people want to know where to find you, where can they go?
Go to Twitter, B_Lars24, aka King Daddy Dilf. The King Daddy
Make
Dilf
that your
father.
name.
Please, yes.
Mary, if people want to find you, where can they go?
I am Mary Wants a Cookie on Twitter and Twitch, and you can find me over on the Destructoid show over on Snapchat and TikTok.
Awesome. John, what about you?
You can catch me counting out my singles so I can buy that Xbox Triple X.
Yeah. That's a good one. Good callback.
Let's see. I have a. No, I guess I've written a lot of my escapist stuff I had in the works, but I've gotten an Octopath Traveler mobile preview probably coming sometime in the next week. If anybody's got any interest in that, I'm in the closed beta right now. It's actually better than I expected. Go figure. Other than that, you can find me wherever you feel like, but I'm also making a video game called Boss Saga. You can check that out at boss-saga.com. There was supposed to be a new post today, but I had to do this podcast, so I'll just publish it tomorrow instead.
We ruined it.
John
for
has
you.
been busy. He's like, I reviewed this game, and I just did this. Like, dude, seriously.
I
Yeah,
would
you
love to slow down, dude.
That sounds almost as tough as plugging in your PS3.
Yeah, definitely not that.
That's hard. That takes a lot.
It's a struggle.
I just want to say, I did like how you guys called me out for moving my PS5. That was good. That was a good one. But
Harry
you don't
got you
understand.
good.
Moving it over and over sucks. I'm never gonna do that. But I would move it once to play one game, Brett. But
It's like
anyway,
a strength thing.
I know.
Greg,
just
what about you?
the
Where can
weak-
people go to find you?
You can find me on all my socials at dynamite_giraffe, over on Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, whatever that sound was. I've been streaming mostly Kirby these last couple of days over on Twitch, but usually I'll do a mix of Apex Legends. I'm in Platinum rank right now, a little bit of Rocket League, and I feel like I'm forgetting something else, but I don't know what it was. So continue on, my good sir.
All right, sounds good. And once again, if you want to be a part of the show, be sure to leave a comment down below. We will read it on next week's show. I want to get more people involved and just talk to you guys a lot more. And yeah, you can find me over at the Destructoid Snapchat. We're making a show. It's skit based. It's funny. I think it's pretty good. Mary's in it as well, and we work really hard on it. We'd really appreciate it if you went and checked it out and subscribed over there.
Good show.
But if you don't want to do that and you're on TikTok like the kids are these days, you can just go subscribe there, and we post a lot of the clips from that show on TikTok. And lastly, on Twitter at BrettNLL. And this has been Spot Dodge. We will talk to you guys later. Goodbye.
See you next week.